East of Scotland University's Air Squadron would like to tell you about the inspirational life and career of Flight Lt Ernie Holmes, DFC, on today, his 100th birthday.
Born in Hebburn-on-Tyne in 1921, Ernie volunteered to join the Royal Air Force aged 18 and began his career in the operations room at Houghton Park. During his time there, Ernie's impressive leadership ability was spotted by his superiors, who encouraged him through the pilot selection board. Ernie was subsequently posted to Desford to begin flying training on Tiger Moth. He earned his wings in 1942.
After training, Ernie was posted to 76 Squadron to fly Halifaxes. On just his third operational sortie, he was commanding his own crew on bombing missions deep into occupied Europe. Soon he volunteered for 35 Pathfinder Squadron, flying ahead of the main bomber force to mark targets using flares, vital to the success of the Allied bombing campaign.
Late at night, on the 22nd of May 1944, Ernie, with his crew of 8, took off from RAF Gravely. Their Lancaster was one of 16 from 35 Squadron, flying ahead of the main force of some 372 bombers. Their target was Dortmund, an industrial city in western Germany. Despite poor weather over the North Sea and the Netherlands, they successfully attacked and triumphantly returned for home. On the return leg, disaster struck. Ernie and his crew were attacked by a Luftwaffe fighter, causing a fire in one of the engines. Ernie flew on, instructing his crew to bail out. A large explosion caused 3 of the men, including Ernie, to be thrown from the aircraft. They descended using parachutes, not knowing where they would land. Tragically, the remaining 5 men died. Ernie came to ground in occupied Holland and was taken in by Fons Verderheiden of the Dutch resistance. For the next 3 weeks, he was kept in hiding and regularly moved between locations. Eventually, he reached Antwerp, where he and his bomb aimer Derek Coleman were betrayed and were arrested by German policemen posing as Red Cross members.
The 2 men were interrogated by the Gestapo. They were then transferred to the prisoner of war camp Stalag III in Poland, host of the famous Great Escape. In awful conditions during early 1945, the prisoners were forcibly marched 120 kilometres into Germany to face further imprisonment.
Ernie was liberated on May 9, 1945, the day after Germany surrendered and just under a year after he and his crew were shot down.
Unbeknown to Ernie, during his imprisonment, he was awarded the Distinguished Flying Cross for his bravery whilst flying on active operations.
After the war, Ernie married his wife Irene in Perth. He remained in the RAF and continued to fly all over the world. Ernie became a flying instructor with our sister squadron in Glasgow before transferring to our predecessor, St Andrews University Air Squadron. Here he was chief flying instructor, and many students were fortunate to begin their RAF careers with his lessons in the Chipmunk.
Ernie left the RAF in 1962 after 22 years of service and began an extensive career in civil aviation and social work. In 2018, he returned to the Netherlands for the unveiling of a memorial to his fallen friends.
Van der Heyden was executed for bravely sheltering Ernie and many other downed airmen. Paying tribute to him, Ernie remarked that there is no greater love than he who will give himself for another.
Ernie Holmes' life and career of service to others are an inspiration to all of us, and we are all very privileged to be joining in the celebrations.
From all of us at ESUAS, we wish you, Ernie, a very happy 100th birthday.